Food distribution and social impacts. Food access is a critical social issue that intersects with sustainable agriculture, and challenges like food insecurity, poverty, and inequality play a significant role in shaping the broader social impact of agricultural systems. Here are key aspects of food access that affect the social side of sustainable agriculture. 1. Food insecurity. Definition. Food insecurity refers to a lack of consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy life due to financial constraints or lack of availability. It can result from poverty, inadequate infrastructure, or extreme weather events disrupting food supply. Impact on social sustainability. When communities face food insecurity, they are less likely to benefit from sustainable agricultural practices, as they may be forced to prioritize immediate food access over long-term sustainability goals. Food insecure populations may struggle to access nutritious food, even if it is available in the community, because they cannot afford it or lack reliable distribution channels. This undermines the core goal of sustainable agriculture, which is to ensure equitable access to healthy food for all. 2. Poverty. Economic barriers. Poverty is both a cause and consequence of food insecurity. People living in poverty often lack the financial resources to access healthy food, especially fresh fruits, vegetables, and other nutritious staples that are the foundation of a sustainable food system. Social exclusion. When agricultural systems are not inclusive, and poor communities are excluded from sustainable food production or distribution systems, it exacerbates social inequality. Those living in poverty may be unable to invest in or benefit from sustainable agricultural practices, like organic farming or community-supported agriculture, due to financial constraints. Impact on farmers. Small-scale. Local farmers, often from low-income backgrounds, are at risk of falling into cycles of poverty if they cannot access markets for their produce, afford necessary inputs, or recover from climate-related shocks. In turn, they may face pressure to adopt unsustainable farming practices that are cheaper in the short term, further undermining the goals of sustainability. 3. Lack of access to land ownership. In many parts of the world, especially in rural or developing regions, people lack secure access to land, making it difficult for them to engage in farming or benefit from sustainable agriculture initiatives. Without land tenure or access to resources, e.g., credit, equipment, individuals are often forced to work in agriculture as wage laborers rather than producers. Land grabbing. Large-scale land acquisitions by corporations or wealthy individuals, often referred to as land grabbing, can displace local farmers and communities, reducing their ability to produce food sustainably. This exacerbates poverty and food insecurity for affected populations and undermines the social fabric of rural communities. 4. Unequal distribution of resources. Economic and gender inequality. In many regions, unequal access to resources like capital, education, and technology limits the ability of marginalized groups, e.g., women, indigenous people, low-income communities, to engage in or benefit from sustainable agriculture. For example, women often play a key role in smallholder farming but may not have access to land, financial services, or decision-making power. Rural versus urban divide. The divide between urban and rural areas can also exacerbate food access inequalities. Urban areas may have better access to food markets and infrastructure, while rural communities may struggle with transportation barriers. High food prices, and limited access to fresh, nutritious food. 5. Nutrition and diet quality. Access to nutritious food. Sustainable agriculture often focuses on producing diverse, nutrient-rich foods. However, in communities experiencing food insecurity or poverty, access to healthy food may be limited due to high prices, lack of transportation, or lack of availability in local markets. As a result, people may rely on cheaper, less nutritious food options, leading to malnutrition, diet-related diseases, and poor health outcomes. Dietary choices and education. Lack of nutrition education and access to healthy food choices are significant barriers, even when sustainable agricultural practices produce healthy food. If individuals lack the knowledge or resources to prepare and incorporate these foods into their diets, the social benefits of sustainable agriculture are reduced. 6. Social inequities and food justice. Food justice movements. Sustainable agriculture is linked to food justice, which advocates for equal access to healthy, culturally appropriate food. This movement challenges structural inequalities that prevent marginalized communities from accessing healthy food. Sustainable agriculture efforts must address systemic barriers such as racial discrimination, economic inequality, and social exclusion to be truly effective in promoting equitable food access. Cultural barriers. Some communities face cultural or social barriers that make it difficult for them to engage with or benefit from sustainable agriculture. For example, food preferences, traditional farming practices, or historical mistrust of government initiatives can prevent some groups from embracing new sustainable farming techniques or alternative food systems. 7. Community empowerment. Building resilience. Sustainable agriculture can help empower communities by fostering local food systems, improving local economies, and supporting community-led food initiatives. When local communities take control of their food production and distribution systems, they can address food access and equity issues in ways that align with their unique needs and values. Social networks. Local and community-based agriculture can strengthen social ties and create cooperative networks where members share resources, knowledge, and labor. These networks can provide a safety net for individuals facing food insecurity, creating more resilient communities. 8. Access to education and technology. Training for farmers. Education and access to technology are crucial to supporting sustainable agriculture. Without training in modern, sustainable practices or access to technology, such as irrigation systems, organic farming tools, and efficient pest management, farmers, particularly those in marginalized communities, may not be able to adopt or benefit from more sustainable practices. Information gaps. Limited access to information about sustainable farming techniques and nutrition can hinder local communities' ability to improve food security. Bridging this gap through community-based education programs can enhance participation in sustainable agriculture and improve food access. 9. Government policies and support. Policy support for food access. Government policies play a significant role in shaping food access. Support for small farmers, fair trade, subsidies for healthy food, and improved food distribution systems can make sustainable agriculture more inclusive. Conversely, policies that favor industrial agriculture or fail to address food access inequalities can exacerbate social disparities in food systems. Subsidies for sustainable practices. Policies that offer financial support or incentives for sustainable farming practices, such as subsidies for organic farming or grants for local food systems, can help reduce the economic barriers that poor farmers face. Improving access to sustainable food for all. In conclusion, the social aspects of sustainable agriculture are deeply intertwined with issues like food insecurity, poverty, inequality, and social exclusion. Addressing these barriers is essential to creating an equitable, resilient food system that benefits everyone, particularly marginalized and vulnerable communities. Sustainable agriculture that considers social justice can help to reduce disparities in food access and create a more inclusive and just food system.